Soulja Boy is back and is ready to release another console, showing he learned literally nothing from the last time Nintendo sued him into oblivion, forcing him to cancel the first one. Plus, Daigo Umehara wins at Capcom Pro Tour Season's Finals with a broken finger. And Tony Hawk hits up Crash Bandicoot on Twitter to get the Tony Hawk Pro Skater remake released on the Switch. And it may have worked. All that and more next on The Breakdown. Soulja Boy planning on releasing new console. Rapper Soulja Boy has attempted to release a console before, but has only been met with failure, and it looks like he's trying his luck one more time. Announced yesterday, the all-new Soulja Game Console looks exactly like hardware that is out in the wild already, and isn't going to be cutting into any Sony or Microsoft sales anytime soon. After showing up on Twitter with a brand new account, the Soulja Game Console is apparently going to be all new, after they promised that they were, quote, building a new console from scratch. However, the lie detector test determined that was a lie. If you took 10 seconds to look at the pictures on Instagram that they also posted, it showed a device that resembles an Xbox One X, which on its face is already pretty sketchy. But thanks to the comments section, it took literally less than an hour for internet sleuths to determine that the device looks eerily similar to the Anne Bernick Retro Console, an existing emulation device that seems to have the exact same look, buttons, USB ports, and essentially everything that his new Soulja Boy console is promising. Right now, there are no details when Soulja Boy's newest console will be released beyond a broad coming soon. And no games have been announced either. Though, if the new Soulja Game Console and the aforementioned emulator end up sharing more than just design similarities, users can expect a device that can run Game Boy, PS1, and Neo Geo games among others. If that turns out to be the case, history could be about to repeat itself for the rapper. His 2018 console and handheld became infamous during their short month on sale, attracting criticism for being similar to existing emulators before being canceled, apparently due to an impending lawsuit from Nintendo for including copyrighted games. Daigo Umehara wins at Capcom Pro Tour Season Finals with broken finger. The fighting game community, and in general most esports, tends to lean towards younger players and some OGs that have a little gray in their hair. But literal icon Daigo Umehara continues to put on for us boomers older than 20, pulling off one of the most impressive Capcom Pro Tour wins by claiming the season finals championship at the age of 39 and doing it all while sporting a broken finger. Before the tournament, which was originally postponed due to COVID, it was even changed again after it was meant to be played in person. Daigo revealed that an accident had left him with a broken pinky, leaving him stuck in a cast while he attempts to mend while still competing. The finals match saw Daigo take on another Japanese competitor to close out the event, with a strong Twitch viewership of over 70,000 people checking out the OG Daigo attempting to take the crown while handicapped at least a little. Daigo is a player who uses a device called a hitbox, a specialized controller that allows fighting game players to have a better access to more buttons, similar to what you would find on an arcade cabinet. Daigo in fact mentioned that jumping forward causes him discomfort, even with the specialized controller and his newly broken finger.
まあ、折れたっつってもなんだ、ちょっとだよ。ちょっとだけどね、まあ、パンパンに腫れてたけど。パンパンに腫れてましたけどね。イルム、ありがとう。うん。はい。一応月曜日にこれは撮るんですけどね。撮るっつうか、見せるんですけど、マイミックスありがとう。まあ、転びましたね。うん。痛えと思って。突き指かなと思ったけど、いつまで経っても治んねえし、やったら腫れてるから病院行ったら折れてたわ。習いかなありがとう。
Daigo ended up winning regardless of wearing the cast, beating his opponent 4-1 in the best of 7 set. And it was so dominating of a win, he refused to rest his hand after winning, and was streaming the launch of Street Fighter V Season 5 shortly after, which included the addition of Dan to the roster, as well as the V-Shift mechanic. Super cool to see the FGC get some love for another OG of the game. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remaster coming to Switch, other next-gen platforms. Leave it to Twitter to not only be the worst thing on the internet, no, seriously, it's kind of the worst, but also somehow be a shining light in the dark that is 2021. Tony Hawk, one of the best people on the planet, hands down, took to Twitter to plead with the powers that be to get the latest remake of the classic skateboarding game that shares his name to be released on the Nintendo Switch. It all started with Tony Hawk sending out a tweet after seeing that Crash Bandicoot 4 is coming to new platforms after it was originally released on the PS4, and that was about it. Just heard Crash 4 is coming to new platforms, and I'm kinda jealous. "Hey, at Crash Bandicoot, can you hook at Tony Hawk the Game up?" Instantly, you saw Crash jump on the train, tagging in Activision asking for help. But from the top ropes, Nintendo of America jumped in too, begging Crash to help make it a reality. The team that developed Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 for console and PC is currently tied up working on the recently announced Diablo 2 Resurrected, but that didn't stop Activision from announcing Tuesday that the game is coming to Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 will be the first Tony Hawk game released on Switch. As for the new gen versions of the game, they will include plenty of graphical updates, including the ability to play at 120 frames per second at a 1080p resolution or at 60 frames per second in 4K. People who own the remake digitally on PS4 or Xbox One will be able to upgrade to the PS5 or Xbox Series X version for $10. Those who own the digital deluxe edition of the game, which already costs an extra $10, will get the upgrade for free. That's it for the news today. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We're always posting brand new content right here on our YouTube channel. But did you know that Checkpoint XP is the only syndicated radio show in over 70 cities across the US and Canada that talks exclusively esports and video games? If you go to our website at checkpointxp.com, you can see where we're airing and if we're in a city near you. And while you're there, check out the podcast feed for the breakdown and take the esports and video game news on the go. My name's Weirdbeard, and a female Doomslayer is the coolest thing I've heard so far this week.